Every homeowner should have their own pinless moisture reader. The brand RDINSCOS sent me this to review, and I'm going to go through its features. I'm going to answer some questions about it, and then I'm going to do a test with it so you'll understand why it's so important to have one of these things. All right, so first let me show you what it comes with. You've got your moisture reader. It comes with a charging cable, because the nice thing is you don't need to swap out batteries. It's got a USB-C port, so it's rechargeable. And of course it comes with a manual. You've got a power on button. You can turn on the backlight, so it's easy to see in the dark. You can set the different materials that you want to test for. It starts with drywall with this button here. You can switch between drywall, plaster, screed, which is actually measuring moisture behind tiles, concrete, and softwood, and hardwood. You can also toggle on and off the alarm sound. And then I'm just going to quickly show you, there's a metal plate on the back, and this is what actually does the reading. So, for example, if I put it up to my hand, luckily there's moisture in my hand. So you can see that the meter went up to wet. There's 3 different levels. There's dry, moist, and wet. Let's go do an outdoor test. So I have this concrete retaining wall, and behind it is the water supply for my waterfall. So I've actually always been curious how well this retains the water, if any moisture is getting into it, because I would be concerned if it was getting moist and the concrete might start getting damaged. And I'm going to set it to concrete. Let's see. Okay, it is actually reading, it's actually reading that it's wet. Here it's just moist, wet. All right, so actually I'm glad I have this, because it looks like I might have a problem. So what is a pinless moisture meter and why does it matter? So there's 2 different kinds of moisture meters. A pinned moisture meter, you actually have to put 2 different pins into the material, which can cause marks and damage it. With a pinless meter, all you need to do is hold it right up against the surface. So what situations would you need one of these for? Well, if you have a leak, you can determine if moisture got into your wall boards or into the floor easily, and then you'll know if you have to, call a contractor or call someone to, replace the material before you get any mold. So it's really important to understand if you have moisture in your material. Can this detect moisture behind tiles? Yes, you put it on the screed mode, and that detects it behind a tile surface. How long does the rechargeable battery last? On a full charge, it'll last 8 hours. So quite some time. Is this just for contractors? No, this one's actually made for homeowners, and it's a really great kind of like first line of defense. If you think you have a leak and there's moisture, you can test it yourself so that you don't pay someone to come visit and find out you don't have a moisture problem. So let's talk about the 6 different modes. So there's softwood mode, which is good for pine and cedar and other softwoods. Hardwood is for oak, maple, and denser woods. Drywall is for your interior walls. Screed is for the cement and sand layer behind tiles. Concrete is for slabs, foundations, and structural material. It will scan about 19 millimeters deep into the material. All right, so I was not expecting that I actually did have a moisture problem in my concrete. So I'm actually really glad that I got this moisture meter. And I would recommend that any homeowner or anyone who is responsible for any property that could have moisture to get one of these.